first movie I did was in my friend's parents' garage. We used theirs first. It was a science fiction movie. It was an hour-long, Super 8, and his parents had a 3-car garage. So we opened the doors of the garage and we built walls out. So we had a big set. And we had a cast of like 40 people and had uniforms and built a big spaceship set inside. It was called Ultimatum. They were from far away, we don't know where they were from, and they had a virus that they wanted to inflict upon the Earth so they could control Earthlings. There were some good aliens that were trying to get to Earth first, because they had the antidote to the virus.
These promises are made for us.
So it was very idealistic ending where all the countries come together and there was a montage of all the nationalities of the world. You know, it was very feel-good, hopeful ending to the movie. It was a little saccharine for a lot of people, you know, but I'm a big sap. I like happy endings. So. Well, the music was used from old Jerry Goldsmith, James Horner, John Williams scores, and by using that music to score these early movies, it taught me how to use film music in movies. And it was that and watching old Star Trek episodes. I would learn how the music was used.
How can you ever let me down? How can you ever let me down? How can you ever let...
Wow. I would say to make a wedding tape interesting is probably the most difficult thing to do. And you can't go back and shoot new material either, because that wouldn't quite work. The most difficult thing an editor has is making things interesting. A lot of people just talking to each other, and how do you make that exciting? Definitely home movies would be a big challenge, you know. I have a great respect for documentary filmmakers, because to keep that interesting when they're just talking about something is a real art. You know. I never edit for anyone except for Brian. He makes me do it. It's blackmail. He says you're not going to score the movie unless you edit it too. And so for him I have to do both. But I just like scoring.
These promises are made for us.
Bottom line is it's always about you know, the characters in the film and what their turmoil is, what their plight is, where are they coming from, and once I understand the characters, then for me that's where the music comes from.
Why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let me down?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, but I'll bet the music will be a little different. I think even though the character is defined in a certain way, I think based upon the way an actor performs it, I'm sure it affects the composer. Yeah.
Those promises were made for us.
As a kid, I've never listened to any music except for film music and classical music, just a total nerd. And today, now that it became my job, it's terrible, but I don't listen to music at all. I listen to talk radio. If I go to the gym or something, if I listen to music, it stresses me out because I'm listening to the arrangement and I'm analyzing too much. I'm not just enjoying it, you know.
Oh. Why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let...
It's mainly because I was a fan, but it's the scene where in Star Trek the Motion Picture where they introduce the Starship Enterprise and they fly around the Enterprise with Jerry Goldsmith, that amazing music for like 10 minutes. And that to me just gives me shivers down my spine, and for many reasons, because it was this holy unveiling of the Enterprise, which is the most beautiful thing ever created by man. And with that music, and that's just one of the most thrilling moments in a movie for me, you know. But a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was such a Star Trek fan. But his score and the way they put that scene together, just phenomenal.
Yes, you are.
Yes.